If you're asking which cryptos could matter most in 2026, you're already thinking ahead of the crowd. Most investors wait for confirmation. The ones who perform best position early, before narratives become obvious. That's exactly why the topic of top cryptos to watch for 2026 growth is gaining so much attention right now. The reality is this. Not every crypto will survive the next market phase. And not every survivor will outperform. Growth in 2026 will likely concentrate around a smaller group of assets that benefit from real usage, institutional interest, and long-term capital flows. In this video, we're going to break down how to think about high-potential cryptos for 2026, why certain projects like Solana, XRP, and Chainlink keep coming up in serious discussions, and what separates long-term growth assets from short-lived hype. This is not about chasing pumps. It's about understanding where capital is likely to flow next. Before talking about individual tokens, it's important to set the framework. Crypto growth in 2026 will not be driven by the same factors that drove previous cycles. Early cycles rewarded anything with a token and a story. Future cycles reward infrastructure, integration, and utility. Capital is becoming more selective. Institutions, developers, and long-term investors care less about promises and more about execution. That shift changes which cryptos deserve attention. When evaluating top cryptos to watch for 2026 growth, you should be asking 3 questions. Does the project solve a real problem? Does it have sustained adoption? And does it benefit from long-term capital trends? With that in mind, let's start with Solana. Solana continues to stand out as one of the most discussed high-growth cryptos for 2026, not because of hype, but because of usage. Solana has positioned itself as a high-performance blockchain optimized for speed, low fees, and scalability. Those characteristics matter as blockchain adoption expands beyond niche use cases. Despite past challenges, Solana's ecosystem has continued to grow. Developers are building. Users are transacting. And importantly, institutions are paying attention to networks that can support real-world applications at scale. For 2026, Solana's growth potential comes from its ability to serve as infrastructure, not speculation. Payment systems, consumer applications, and decentralized finance platforms need speed and reliability. Solana is positioning itself in that lane. The key question for Solana is not whether it survives, but whether it becomes embedded into mainstream crypto infrastructure. If it does, growth follows adoption, not narratives. Now let's talk about XRP, because no discussion about top cryptos for 2026 growth is complete without addressing it. XRP remains one of the most polarizing assets in crypto. Some see it as outdated. Others see it as strategically positioned. What keeps XRP relevant is its focus on cross-border payments and financial infrastructure. While many crypto projects aim to replace the financial system, XRP aims to integrate with it. That distinction matters when institutions and regulators are involved. As regulatory clarity improves, particularly around payment-focused tokens, XRP's use case becomes easier to evaluate. Financial institutions care about speed, liquidity, and cost efficiency. XRP was designed with those priorities in mind. For 2026, XRP's growth potential is closely tied to adoption, not speculation. If it continues to gain traction as a settlement layer for cross-border transactions, capital interest follows naturally. This is a slower path than hype-driven growth, but often a more durable one. Chainlink is another project that consistently appears in discussions about long-term crypto growth. Unlike many tokens, Chainlink operates behind the scenes. It provides critical infrastructure that connects blockchains to real-world data. Oracles are essential for decentralized finance, tokenized assets, and smart contract execution. Without reliable data inputs, decentralized systems fail. Chainlink has established itself as the dominant player in this space. What makes Chainlink compelling for 2026 is its alignment with real-world asset tokenization. As traditional assets move on-chain, secure and reliable data becomes non-negotiable. Chainlink's role grows as the ecosystem grows. Chainlink is not a flashy asset. It doesn't rely on constant narratives. It grows alongside adoption. That makes it particularly attractive to long-term investors focused on infrastructure rather than speculation. Beyond these large names, privacy and utility tokens are gaining renewed attention. Privacy-focused cryptos address a growing concern around data transparency and financial surveillance. As blockchain adoption increases, so does the conversation around user privacy. At the same time, utility tokens tied to real services, networks, or platforms are separating themselves from purely speculative assets. Investors are increasingly asking a simple question. What does this token actually do? For 2026, cryptos with clear utility have a structural advantage. They attract developers, users, and eventually institutional capital. Tokens without utility struggle to sustain attention once hype fades. This shift doesn't mean speculation disappears. It means speculation becomes less forgiving. Another important theme when evaluating top cryptos for 2026 growth is capital concentration. In earlier cycles, capital spread across thousands of tokens. In more mature markets, capital concentrates around winners. This means fewer projects outperform, but those that do can outperform significantly. Investors who understand this dynamic focus on quality rather than quantity. Quality in crypto means strong developer activity, resilient infrastructure, real demand, and alignment with broader financial trends. It also means surviving multiple market environments, not just bull runs. Ask yourself this. Is the project still relevant during downturns? Is it still being built when speculation dries up? It's also important to address risk. Even the best crypto projects experience volatility. Growth potential does not mean straight-line price action. Long-term investors manage expectations and position sizes accordingly. The goal is not to predict exact prices in 2026. The goal is to identify which cryptos are most likely to matter when capital flows return. This is where strategy matters more than excitement. A disciplined approach focuses on accumulating exposure to high-quality projects over time rather than chasing short-term performance. So how should you think about building a watchlist for 2026? First, focus on infrastructure. Networks, data providers, and settlement layers benefit from overall ecosystem growth. Second, pay attention to adoption metrics, not just price. Usage, partnerships, and developer activity matter more than social media trends. Third, stay realistic. Not every promising project delivers. Diversification within quality assets reduces risk without diluting conviction. And finally, remain flexible. Markets evolve. Strong investors adapt. Let's bring this together. The top cryptos to watch for 2026 growth are not necessarily the loudest ones today. They are the projects building quietly, integrating with real systems, and attracting long-term capital. Solana, XRP, and Chainlink each represent different growth narratives, but all share a focus on utility and infrastructure. As crypto matures, growth becomes less about hype and more about relevance. Investors who understand that shift position themselves for sustainable outcomes rather than short-lived cycles. The opportunity in 2026 will not belong to those chasing every trend. It will belong to those who understand which cryptos are built to last. Now I want to hear from you. Which cryptos are you watching for 2026 growth, and why? Are you focused on infrastructure, payments, data, or something else entirely? Share your perspective in the comments. If this breakdown helped clarify how to think about long-term crypto opportunities, like the video, subscribe for more strategic crypto and market analysis, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in crypto, clarity is often more valuable than conviction.